Hello, my name is Caterina Campagna, and I'm here today to bring you the Open Door News segment. News that makes you go, ah, hmm, ooh, or simply, what the? Let's begin today with the story from jolly old England, only it wasn't always so jolly. There is a part of England called York, and this city was founded by the Romans in 71 AD. It was later transferred to the Vikings and the Angles. And in the 19th century, it wasn't a pretty picture, especially if you were a child. And especially if you were a child who was lost, an orphan, or stray. You might have fallen into the hands of one Mr. George Pym. He ran the Industrial Richt School in York. And wow, the abuses he did to these kids. They were malnourished, overworked. They worked in chimneys and other hazardous places that children today would nowhere be near, let alone work in. After exhausting these poor children literally to death, he would not tell the church who was overseeing the school that certain children had perished, because then his stipend would be depleted. So he would simply hide these bodies of these poor wayward children in closets until the spring thaw, when he could then bury the bodies. Well, the stench would not allow it. So he finally just went crazy. And they found him cowering in the corner with a knife in his hand and tons of butchered children lying around him. Horrific, simply horrific. And now, to this day, visitors can hear these ghostly children playing. One time, a man was walking his dog, and he was nearing the establishment, and his dog refused to advance. When the man finally walked towards the establishment, he heard all the children playing, ghostly voices of children maybe just wanting to relive a glimpse of a happiness they were denied in this life. Once, when the establishment was being revamped and turned into its present form, the architect of the building went to bed, where his wife noticed on his back the small scratches of a small hand. I don't know. What do you think? Now on to our next story. Zelani Kamena of Suatu, South Africa, has a Tokoloshes. What's a Tokoloshes? Well, it is a mysterious beast, spirit, that's a trickster caused for evil deeds and called upon people for evil deeds. One woman said that it could be comprised of grave dirt, dolls, and even water used to clean corpses. Back to the woman who had this issue. She one day came across a huge rat in her house that simply refused to die. The rat ran amok in her home, and her husband finally did get a whack of it, and blood spilled all over the place. Her husband did clean up the blood, but her issues were non-resolved. She had a prophet come over to her house to see what had happened, and he told her that she wasn't able to be helped. This Tokoloshes had taken hold of her home. There was even a hole found outside in her yard where the head of a goat was believed to be found. Tokoloshes. Who knew? 1926, June 1st, Norma Jean Mortensen came into the world. She later transformed herself into the beloved icon Marilyn Monroe. Much is debated over the star of Some Like It Hot and Gentlemen Prefer Blondes death. But despite how people argue over how she passed, she is undisputably seen today in Hollywood. Yes, her ghost still roams the town, many say, being captured even in ghostly photographs in her home in Brentwood, by the pool, by the garage, and all over town. Other places include the Roosevelt Hotel. Room 1200 had to be revamped because there used to be a large mirror there in which Marilyn would appear to guests. So they had to move this mirror into the hallway so as not to scare away customers. I don't know, would you be scared if you saw Marilyn Monroe's ghost? What do you think? We'd like to know. Until then, stay curious, my friends.